2019.
Hi.
I fucking love you.
Wait, ready? 5,
4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! 2020's our year, baby.
Come on.
Hi there. Hi guys, how's everybody doing today?
I love you.
Hi there.
I love you.
Hi guys,
Every day feels the same. And just when I think life is going back to normal, I still feel empty. I feel empty without him. And I can't stand it, hiding away in isolation, feeling trapped by my own thoughts, until I drink them away and fake a smile, I guess.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. At the tone, please record your message.
I wish 2020 had been our year.
And you ask me what I want this year, and I try to make this kind and clear. Just a chance that maybe we'll find better days.
We are ready up top. We are ready in the wings. So please put your hands together for Stupid Humans.
My heart says go. I'm out.
This is the time for innovation. Sometimes like your experiences will limit you and force you. You have to be creative. Like you have to. You know, in my 20s and 30s, I was doing storefront Chicago theater that has no money, like none. And I'm trying to do all these huge shows. It forces you. You can't throw money at the problem. You have to be creative. And I just think, yeah, the functionality and the restriction of your circumstances will generate creativity. I just think it does. And I'm learning with you guys. I'm like, oh, right, COVID, masks, hand sanitizer, sharing props, air circulation, right. I'm not saying this is going to be good. I'm not even saying it's going to work out. But we've never done this before. Innovation is like, that's why we're here.
Can you guys help me set up the room?
This is real life. That's the other thing. This isn't like in a bubble in the academy. Everyone in the country and world is trying to figure out how to engage a theater audience.
I started off writing the music first, and I thought, oh, I know like the idea of what things are going to be about, so I'll just write the music and the lyrics and whatnot. So I had like a few songs, and then I started to figure out that I didn't really exactly know what the story was going to be. So I actually sat down and wrote basically like a fiction short story version of the show, and then from there it was sort of taking that short story and formatting it in a way that's conducive to a play.
And then there's the actor with the dark mode behind, and that's how. And then we actually play the scene like this.
Okay.
Good luck. Let's go back a little bit. The way I look at it is workshopping a piece is trying to figure out the what. Like big conceptual, like what is the thing? Like the family scene today that we had in class, right? There's a big family, they come in and they sing who they are. I was trying to figure out, what is this song about? It's not like how they're doing it, it's like what, like, oh, it's about them introducing themselves to a character. And also the way that they do that is they use this recipe book.
Tony, you think you would recognize your uncle? Tony, you think you'd remember the times we had? Rico, she was 5. Let's just cast that aside. You'd think I would look so familiar. You'd think she'd remembered familiar. Oh no.
There were also a couple of scenes with the big Italian family, and part of some of the comedy and some of the warmth that comes from that scene is definitely from how close physically everybody is in those scenes. And so it's definitely been a challenge for me to watch those scenes develop in not exactly the way that I had imagined them, and sort of having to let go of some of my initial thoughts about how the show was going to look and how certain things were going to be and how things were going to be choreographed and you know, how the romance was going to happen between two characters that can't actually touch each other.
Until then.
She goes to stop him. Then the actress playing Tony leans down and kisses her roommate that has a wig on.
Hell yeah.
She pulls back and she says,
I'm so sorry. I was only trying to make it towards me.
same thing. We split back to the other roommate. Maybe a mannequin, stunt double.
Our previous student work was a very high energy, lots of feeding off the energy of audience, has a very concert feel like, right? They didn't have a lot of book scenes, a lot of music stuff. It was very big and loud and joyful. It was just a lot of bodies, a lot of movement, a lot of ensemble, a lot of more dancing, a lot more celebratory stuff. That would have been really hard to do in COVID times, just with our social distancing and everything. This piece is so, just smaller, more intimate scenes. It's a domestic drama. So you can have a lot of two-person scenes. So believe it or not, because it's a more character-focused, streamlined domestic drama, because it's zoomed in like that, that is actually easier to accomplish because of COVID protocols.
What's going on?
Students come up to me and they'll be like, I have an idea for a musical, right? And I'm like, cool, come see me about it. That's usually what happens.
When I was talking in the early stages with Matt Hawkins about sort of this project and what I wanted to write a show about, I just knew that I wanted to write about something that was really important to me. I really care about mental health, and I really care about breaking that stigma and having conversations about that, because that's been a huge struggle for me.
When Ronnie came to me with this, it's like, oh, the subject matter feels like it would be very appropriate for arts in general and this community. And she basically started writing, and as things started coming my way, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, look, to be super clear, I don't know that we can program this, right? And what I can tell you is I can talk you through this, but I'm not saying we can program it. And she was churning out songs and things were right. I was like, oh, great.
It's like
I think we're going to be okay.
It's like the original Batman. Michael Keaton's on one side, and Messenger's like.
My biggest challenge writing the musical has definitely been not getting burnt out with the feedback.
I kind of was confused, not necessarily confused, but was wondering if things were that bad until,
And I mean that in the most grateful sense, in that I love getting all this feedback, and I'm so appreciative of this opportunity, but sometimes it can be difficult to just go in day after day and get criticism thrown at you, especially when I'm making edits all the time. And I'm trying, like, you should see my notebook, it's just chock full of so-and-so thinks this and so-so thinks that, and I think this and I think that, and it's hard to sort of put all that together, and I'm worried about disappointing people.
I'm with you.
Versus, I don't think that these relationships are totally beyond repair, that you would have to go and get them.
Yep. Okay, yep. I'm with you. I just had to like follow that thought.
No, but I like the thought. I like it.
The reason I'm asking is like this whole thing of like, where does she leave everyone before the final thing, I think is really important to investigate.
Right, because I don't want her to shatter any of the relationships, but they're all weird. Even Fred, things are weird between her and every single person.
So the end game was like, great, let's rehearse virtually over the winter break, and then let's stage it when we get back, being safe. Then we spent a whole month filming it, and I'd film it like a film shoot.
A filmed musical is something so different, and something that I'm still not entirely sure how it's going to happen, but I know with the help of movie magic and all of that, we might be able to actually make something theatrical happen while still being really safe. And I think that because of that, we're going to be a part of history in a small way, in one way or another. We're doing something that is quite unorthodox right now.
The intention is by May, we are doing a live, like a broadcast of a final edited theatrical musical version of Ronnie's show.
Yeah. 20 seconds left. Thanks, everybody. Some stuff sucks, some stuff was good. Tally ho!
One 8-ounce packaged penne pasta, check. 1 tablespoon basil oil, check. 1 tablespoon olive oil, check. 3 cloves garlic minced, check. 1 pint grape tomatoes halved, check. 1 cup shredded mozzarella cheese, check. 1/4 cup grated Parmesan cheese, check. 1 tablespoon minced fresh basil, check. Prep time, 10 minutes. But it's already been 9 of me staring at all this. Come on, Tony, you'll be fine. You'll get the hang of it.
Shit, it's locked. Do you think we can climb over?
Dude, no.
Well, how else are we supposed to get through? We're climbing, come on.
Basement isn't even directly connected to the main house. We're still screwed.
Just give me a sec.
No. Dude, still no.
Well, you can stay, but I'm going. What the hell?
Sorry, I was tying my shoe. It's fine, let's just keep going. This is creeping me out.
This is so weird.
Dude, if Dad finds out that we broke curfew, he's gonna kill us.
Correction, if Dad finds out we broke curfew to go to a party, which wasn't even fun by the way, he's going to kill us.
Well, at least we made it home without getting caught. Hey, I figured out why we couldn't find the key.
Dude.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I think you might have left your backpack in the basement last night. You want to check on that.
We get up usually about 6 o'clock in the morning. I get to the stadium 4 hours before kickoff. 3.5 hours we have a supervisors meeting.
You get the stadium ready, you unlock the stadium, make sure everyone is safe. See, you're the first person many times that they meet when they step on campus. And if you can direct them, put a smile on their face, it just moves forward from there. It's what a unique, rewarding thing that I do. The thing about this job, if you want to call it a job, it never gets old. When the band plays, the hair still stands up on your arms. The team runs out, you'll get pumped yourself, you're ready to go. And then if you have, or you're lucky enough to see a kickoff return for a touchdown, a long pass, a great defensive move, you're in on it. You breathe it. Back 42 years ago or so, wanted to be able to see a ball game. Hard to get in, and it's evolved to a love that is almost undescribable. You see, I'm in my position being assistant coordinator, I see many unique things.
I had a visiting team mom come to me right after halftime, and she said she had a present for her son, but she had to leave the stadium to go get it. And I kind of asked her more questions about what was going on, and she explained that her son was the starting tailback for the University of Navy, Naval Academy, and she needed to get 50 pounds of fresh halibut cut from her trunk to her son. So there was a lot of instances there where we went out in the parking lot, used my pass, got her back on campus, and we got that successfully to her. There's been many relationships and friendships we've developed. As you may expect, most of the guys who are part of the Usher program, which is over 800 people, individuals, they're all pretty passionate about Notre Dame football, Notre Dame in particular, and actually the whole campus itself. You know, I always had I had a retiree who worked for me. He basically worked for me on the field, actually at my gate, but he had never been on the actual field. And so I checked with the game day management and said, would it be all right if Bob, he's retiring, this is his last game, can he go down and watch the fourth quarter with me? And I remember his expression and the tears coming down his face, and that whole experience of letting that guy who had been retired for 10 years, kind of in his early 80s, and he was going to be his last game doing a Notre Dame football game as an usher, and seeing his enthusiasm and just how his reaction was, it was pretty awesome.
But what is Notre Dame? Again, it's family. My wife just passed away in August. Totally heartbroken. And some of the people around here kind of knew who I was and knew that she was ill for 3 years. And we had our first football game. The following day I went to the grotto, kind of knelt, said my prayers. Looking back on what reality really is now, tears rolling down my cheeks. And I got up 15, 20 minutes later, hand underneath my arm. A pat on the back. Not one, not two, probably 50 to 100 kids that just kind of know me. Somebody made a little call. They're there to lift me up, to move me forward. That's Notre Dame. That's family.
You ever notice the word shampoo has the word sham and poo in it? Tell me this isn't real poop?
Good stand-up comedy is like nature. It's natural. It's got a real rhythm and flow to it. And everyone wants to see it. Stand-up during a pandemic is less natural. It's not as pretty, I guess. Stand-up at a Catholic college during a pandemic where you have to wear masks and stay socially distanced. God help me. My name's Scott. No relation. That's supposed to be a joke. I'm the president of the Student Stand-Ups of Notre Dame, and we're students who do stand-up at the University of Notre Dame. I've been doing it for about 4 years now, but this year has been especially tough. So why bother watching this? Well, for the same reason I tell people to watch our stand-up shows. I'm in it, and so are some other funny people.
I have a lot of fun on stage. This is like some of the most exciting times of my time on campus. I would like, a bigger crowd. Obviously with COVID it's tough, but overall I'm excited. Nervous every time because you never know what kind of laughs you're gonna get. I always say that you haven't lived until you bomb at Legends, so.
Before COVID, Legends nightclub was the campus's biggest performance space and home to the stand-up club. Nothing was better for laughs than performing for a jam-packed room of drunken college friends.
How much do you think legacy had to do with Jesus getting into heaven?
Now it feels a bit more like a detention center.
A little less organized, I guess.
But first,
In addition to wearing a mask on stage, performers have to put a little shower cap on the microphone as well.
always use protection. Is this on? Thank you.
It can be
Is
awkward,
this thing on? Hello? It's not on?
especially if the microphone doesn't work.
I might need some help from backstage. Hello.
Well, it wasn't our best performance. Most of our members graduated last year, so there were only 3 of us left at the start of this semester. My VP Matt and I somehow recruited some new members, and we had our first socially distant pitch meeting.
Right now, as far as my parents are concerned, I'm going to law school and will become a lawyer. I feel like it's a weird thing to admit, but I love the attention of being on stage getting laughs because you don't get that anywhere else. And the entire crowd of people looking at you, laughing at something that you said, something that you thought of. Stuff. You know how people say quote unquote, and then they say the quote, but they've already unquoted because they say quote unquote, and then so like I was gonna do something where like somebody says something super fucked up, but they say was like, but you're really saying that because you already unquoted, something like that.
You're not safe anymore.
yeah. Like Hitler said, quote unquote. It's like, oh, but now it's just you.
Have a good night.
See you guys. Thanks for coming.
See ya.
My friend will ask me like, oh, like how do you want to pursue comedy outside of Notre Dame? And I have no idea. I would love to just sit down with like a really successful comic and just pick their brain.
I was out in Nevada recently. Anyone ever been to Nevada? Hot out there, boy, isn't it? I was in a casino in Las Vegas, which was a lot of fun. Anyone ever been to Las Vegas? Hang on, like 10 of you have been to Nevada, about 25 of you have been to Las Vegas. Wait a minute. Hang on.
Turns out there are very few professional comics from Notre Dame. But now is my chance to get some advice.
Kind of trying to act like them and all that kind of stuff.
Eric's audio was indecipherable, and I can't believe how long it took me to bring it up.
I know words and there's no, top application.
Come on, say something.
So for the longest time,
Don't be afraid to speak up.
finally get into it professionally.
You can interrupt him, you know.
Working as a reporter.
Just cut him off already.
Oh, sorry, Eric. I think your audio's cutting out a little bit. I don't know if that's just me. Oh, sorry, your audio cut out there.
Let's see, well, there's probably one.
Sorry?
I want to know what's going on at campus.
Sorry, do you mind? I guess your speakers, or maybe it's my end, are just a little sensitive. I guess there's like one spot where your speakers really pick up your voice.
Have you recorded any of this?
That entire interview was a disaster. There's only one part that was, salvageable.
In your act, do you sing young Jackson Brown songs? Have you ever thought of doing that?
No. Why is that?
Well, you look like Jackson Brown.
Oh, yeah, it's the...
You've never heard that?
No, I haven't gotten that yet.
Look them up. Like 1970s.
But have you heard most of everything else?
Yes, yeah.
You can fix all this in post, as they say.
Yeah, I'll fix it in post.
Eric gave some good advice, I bet. Well, that's enough of Zoom for now. For some reason, I really thought this joke was gonna hit. Well, I was wrong. I still desperately need some advice, so I think I'll turn back to Zoom.
He's very popular in comedy clubs throughout the country. Would you welcome, please, Jimmy Brogan. Jimmy?
Yeah, Cleveland, Ohio is my hometown. Now, of course, Ohio is an Indian word. It means beautiful. And, of course, Cleveland's an Indian word. It means not. So, it works out pretty good, yeah.
Scott. Hi, Jim.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Thank you. Is that working for you?
Could you describe what it was like performing for a TV audience, or how nervous you felt in that moment?
Oh, I was terrified. Absolutely terrified.
I like being a kid, except my parents were too conscientious, I think. They used to send us to bed at 7 o'clock at night when we were little. We'd be all done sleeping about 3 in the morning, and by the time school started, we were exhausted.
When it got a big laugh, I said to the audience, "Whew, that joke never worked before." I actually said what was on my mind.
Thank you. This joke has never worked before. Thank you. Kind of surprised me there.
And, that kind of let the audience in, rather than someone just kind of reciting stuff. It was a real, genuine moment there. But it was a moment where I really connected with the audience.
So I shouldn't get dissuaded after a couple of years of college stand-up.
Oh, not at all. No. Go to real places where people don't know you. Mm-hmm. That's really learn.
I still don't feel like I've got a first joke.
Oh, well, tell me your first joke. What do you joke?
My first joke I usually do is that my name is Scott, no relation. That's it.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
It's my name is Scott, no relation.
Oh.
Okay, take care.
Bye-bye.
Well, there goes my best joke. Jim did give some great advice, and I'd love to go out there and perform some more, but unfortunately I'm limited to a 2-mile radius here at school. I could really use someone to sympathize with my struggles, or at least listen to some jokes. Someone...
You know, you don't need to wear a mask for Zoom. You can't get COVID from us.
He's not at home. He's at school. He has to wear a mask.
I'm teasing him. I can see by the door he's at school.
Scotty, your hair's getting very long.
Yeah, it's a tool to how I measure how long the pandemic has been.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, see, the pandemic hasn't really hit me.
I can't think of any good jokes lately.
No?
Yeah.
It's not the time to be joking during COVID, Scott. That's probably why.
I think people want to laugh.
Yeah, I'd like to laugh.
Do you want to hear a joke about lobsters?
What? Go ahead.
I think it's really cruel to kill a lobster because you're boiling it alive.
Mm-hmm.
But what's even worse is the lobster's last thought is probably, hey, look, water.
Oh,
My natural habitat.
yuck. I like stand-up as long as it's funny. Not funny. I don't like it.
What would you do if I became a doctor?
You're not going to become a doctor.
Why?
Scott, you can't stand the sight of blood.
Yeah.
I can. Oh. What did you? Oh.
What if I did stand up?
In the hospital?
No.
As a profession, you're not going to make that much money. That's a hard life. Have your career, do that on the side. If you get big like Jerry Seinfeld, good.
What about they should make a theme park for fat people called Disney Plus World.
Don't like it.
Any last notes?
Last notes are get some rest, eat well, and we'll see you before Thanksgiving. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
I couldn't make my own family laugh. And to think, she was like a mother to me. Only a week before the last show of the semester, and only 5 days before the election. COVID, comedy, Catholicism, and the caucus. The perfect storm.
Can you hear now?
Yeah. You got COVID?
I don't know. I might. Yeah, I'm in quarantine for a week.
We don't know the president. I hope we don't find out until after our show, though, on November 5th. I hope we don't find out during. Otherwise, we'll have to address the elephant in the room. Or the donkey. That's a good joke. I could use that.
Ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor. Welcome the very funny Michael Somerville, ladies and gentlemen.
This is my last chance to interview a comic from Notre Dame, and I really don't want to mess it up. I need advice given my current situation.
Oh, yeah? Well, at 6 a.m., I was a pirate. Pretty cool, too.
I don't think I can hear you.
Oh, good God, please no.
There we go.
Oh, now I can hear you.
There we go. All right.
Thank God.
Was there a time where you sort of had like a doubt about whether you could even do this? Like, was there a show that just went so horribly wrong?
Every day, yeah, every single day, you question whether you should do this or you could be doing this. The nice thing is, in this day and age, what we're doing right now, we have more power than ever to create it on our own, to create our own thing. I've done a bunch of quarantine comedy videos on my Facebook page, just 2 or 3 minute monologues of material. Hope you're all doing well. One of my 2020 goals was to be home more, but this is ridiculous. So, I mean, the biggest challenge of comedy is to find stuff that people relate to, the audience will relate to. Who is my audience? What can I talk about that they'll relate to? And all of a sudden, we have a global pandemic, and everybody on the planet is literally going through it. Well, we can all pretty much relate. What's your favorite joke? Tell me one of your best jokes.
Joke? One of them is that I'm a big fan of ventriloquism, and ventriloquism is a pretty funny word. Of course, from the Latin, ventre I was, and loquism, neglected as a child.
That's a good joke. I like that. All right.
At long last, I'll laugh. That one will go in the set tonight. Only hours before our final performance, I met Andrew, the man who sets up the chairs for our legend shows.
All the chairs are 6 feet on center, so you're socially distant. You know, you're within the rules, but I got the most number of chairs in here as possible. I love this job because, okay, I'll say it, you guys are kids. I'm sorry, you're kids, and I remember what it's like to be a kid, so I remember exactly what you looked for in your college experience. But even in the darkest times, you gotta come up with something to laugh at. You got to. Otherwise, life will beat you down from here to kingdom come. You know, like everyone considers this, you know, the pandemic to be a dark situation. It's like, you guys gotta look on the bright side of what's available out there. I mean, just like this. Okay, so it's only 60 people that can be in here for this, but that's 60 people that'll see each other, they'll laugh together, they'll boo together, they'll enjoy the show together.
That inspires me now to get up on stage. I'll probably bomb, but I'm inspired.
Hey, you gotta look at it this way, if you bomb on stage, you can only go up.
Andrew's advice gave me an entirely new perspective minutes before the show. I guess everyone's looking for a little bit of comedy, and if I can make someone in this audience laugh, I'll be grateful.
Wouldn't be a good doctor. Probably be a good horse doctor. Yeah, that's pretty easy. Hey doc, my horse broke its leg. Okay, where's my gun? Kapow! Oh my God, you killed it! All in a day's work.
Good stand-up comedy is hard to come by these days. I gotta think of a better outro, but this is the end. It was nice speaking to you all. Bye-bye.
sudden, the room seemed dingy and dirty.
Just be careful here when you put your foot down. Just make sure nothing gives away. It's pretty safe, but you know. All right, and it's this bell here, and then that bell right in the middle there. So if I hit this bell, and then you hit that bell, it should. This is a little bit of a cheating question because it's not the space that, or cheating answer, because this isn't the space that many people get to see. My favorite space in the Basilica is actually the bell tower. Not because the bell tower is cool, though it is, but it's kind of dusty and rickety. but all that the bell tower represents, right? It's easy to think of the Basilica as kind of like a fortress-like thing. Like you go inside and everyone crams themselves inside, and you worship God, and then you go back out into the world. But this is like the safe, churchy place. You know, the bell tower represents the fact that no matter what we do, we're always called to bring our faith outside the walls of the church. So there's two sets of bells in the bell tower. There's one very large bell that used to be rung by 4 people on ropes. It would take 4 people to pull ropes to move the thing back and forth. I mean, the thing weighs almost 8 tons. And bells in the Catholic tradition, they're christened, so they're given the name of a saint, and baptized as opposed to blessed. So this one is named after St. Anthony, so it's St. Anthony's bell. And on top of that, literally higher up the tower, there's an instrument called the carillon, and that is 23 individual bells that are arranged chromatically. So each one kind of relates to a different note, and those are all attached to a keyboard-like device that you could play like a keyboard. So that's how those were played in the past as well. It's just a keyboard, you know, this is C, D, E, F, G, C sharp, you know, but they've been computerized for quite some time now. So this is pretty simple. This is the control box for the bell system upstairs. You can see there's a playlist. The one's called Advent, one is obviously for Lent, Easter, Ordinary Time. So they're just a number of songs that are themed towards the liturgical season.
In theory, could you like load anything onto that?
You could. It takes a little bit of time, so the company has to come and do that, because they then go upstairs and you have to play it manually and then record the mechanisms here. Okay. But then once they get everything timed out straight, it can be saved and put out. So not Stairway to Heaven or anything, but we'll make it work.
No Led Zeppelin.
You can hear them throughout campus, that you can be walking across South Quad or North Quad and hear when it becomes 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. Like it's the church reaching out to others symbolically, right? And it's just a nice reminder to me of, though we have a lot of important liturgies on campus, though we have a lot of important liturgies at the Basilica, though we gather for people for Mass at the Basilica, all of that isn't really helpful unless we're sending people back out of the Basilica, there we go, and spread them into the world, like so that they can, like the bells, kind of share the joy, share their faith joyfully, gleefully, you know, in a way that helps call others closer to Jesus.
closer and I feel no pain every beat of my heart. We got something going on. Tender love is blind. It requires a dedication. All this love we feel needs no conversation. We ride it together, making love with each other.
The reason why I have the assignment is that people don't date, right? That's the weirdest thing about Notre Dame. I mean, for years, since I was an undergraduate, people say no one dates at Notre Dame. Either you find someone and decide that you're going to marry them 15 minutes after meeting them, or you hook up at the backer and you kind of wonder what it means, and then you awkwardly determine, perhaps after 8 more times of hooking up, that maybe you should be together. And so I wanted to give a place where people could talk to one another instead of just, well, to be honest, putting their tongue down someone's throat.
Islands in the stream, that is what we are. No one in between. How can we be wrong?
Here we wash our hands, and we wash our souls too.
You may better know that sampled from Ghetto Superstar by Maya. You may not know that either, I realized. Okay.
From my friends who have taken the class before, they told me that it's the dating class and you get extra credit if you take someone out on a date, and just it sounds awesome. And I've heard Tim O'Malley speak before, so I was really, really excited to be in his class.
What's up? So today I'm going to be watching my video for class for Nuptial Mystery with Professor O'Malley.
Alright, so we will begin with our penultimate Dolly Parton song of the day.
I think he's weirdly obsessed with Dolly Parton, but that's alright. He's a nice guy.
Well, welcome. This is weird, which is basically every single thing that has happened since March. So this is weird.
Make sure if you're going to go on a date that you do so soon. The weather is changing, and that makes it harder to go on a date.
I have almost 200 of the students end up going on the date. And the purpose of the assignment, the assignment as a whole is that you have to ask someone out on a date. Ideally, you should tell them it's for extra credit, but you don't need to take them to the most fancy restaurant in South Bend or Mishawaka. You just simply need to go on a date with a person.
You're sure you like to do things like this?
Sure.
I thought all girls wanted fellas to take them to fancy places, spend lots of money.
Not this girl.
That means spending an hour and a half or so in conversation with someone, put the phone away, look directly in their eyes, actually engage in conversation with them. And to do so in the context of just one-on-one, ideally, and you're really there sort of looking and practicing conversation with another person.
Yeah, we haven't figured out how to pronounce her name yet.
Deirdre.
Deirdre, okay.
Yo, did you see this?
Well, my name's Jason Maxwell. I come from Oklahoma. I converted to Catholicism my junior year of high school. 3 years after my oldest brother converted. I grew up as an evangelical Protestant, and the rest of my family is as well now. And yeah.
I hear he's very Catholic, so I'm excited about that. I know we'll have something to talk about. We have the same faith. The only picture I've ever seen of him is like with his head down, so I can't even see his face in the picture. So I really don't know what he looks like, but he's playing a guitar, and I think that's so fun. I love music. My mom plays guitar. We love to sing in my house, so I think that's a great thing. I'm excited about that. Bonus points. I saw a crucifix in the picture, so bonus points. We got Jesus and the guitar. What else do we need, There are nice Catholic men everywhere. But I don't want just a nice Catholic man. I think a lot of women will say, like, oh, I just need a nice Catholic man. Like, no, I want, like, my nice Catholic man.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
I think if you are a person of deep faith, then it's an important thing for you, and therefore it's likely going to be important in the course of dating in any significant way, right? I mean, there are very faithful people who should never date each other, and that's okay.
I feel like some people obviously are gonna care. Like some people are like, I want a Christian girl. Some people are like, I want a Muslim girl. You know, I want a Jewish. I know, especially my friends. A lot of my Jewish friends are like, I want a Jewish girl. And it's, I think that's the one religion where like I've noticed it the most, which is kind of funny. Like not that it's a bad thing, but for me, it's like if I like the girl and the girl likes me and like we get along well, doesn't matter if she's like she could be like into some like whack cultish stuff, and I'd be like, all right, that's fine. Like as long as you're not killing anyone or like raping something, like we're good to go. I was gonna take this girl on a date, and then JD asked me to do the interview, and so now I'm flip-flopping if I actually go with this girl because she may have a boyfriend who doesn't like me too much. But yeah, so I might take her, but if this film gets seen by a whole lot of people, I might switch and choose someone else over the course of the next few days, you know. But we'll see what happens, I guess.
Making a senior year montage. Figured this would be a good moment to capture.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pick up Deirdre from St. Mary's, and then we're gonna go and play some putt-putt.
So bring a date and your brother or your mate and your mother and putt-putt a hole in one. Go putt-putt for the fun of it, putt-putt for the fun of it, putt-putt for the fun of it, putt-putt for the fun of it.
What's up, brother? Hello. Good, how are you? Hello, the camera. Hi.
Are you Deirdre?
I'm Deirdre.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
Jason.
to meet you.
You got a nice smile on the mask.
Thank you, yes.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, good mood.
So what's going on here with this?
I'm just some paparazzi here. Don't worry about me.
Okay. Well, are you ready to go?
Yeah, awesome.
Okay.
Thanks. All right.
Gentlemen, have a good
Bye,
one.
JD.
Gentlemen, are you gentlemen?
I mean, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Deirdre, so this is a nice little home you got here.
Oh, thank you. These are the on-campus apartments.
We're probably just gonna go for a walk right now. Not much to do. Just hang out by the dome, sit by a bench, just talk.
Does the girl think I had a boyfriend?
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully too many people don't see this.
Yeah, I mean, I actually have had very few what you would call successes. I mean, I often find students discover how awkward dating is. They realize that hotness, although great for a lot of reasons, is not the ideal quality for an hour-and-a-half conversation.
It's so weird. How are you?
I'm good, are you?
Good. Yeah, make space, please. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Now I feel like a douche.
Oh, they just put this up, I guess.
It's not even Halloween. It's not even Halloween. Yeah, this is like not awkward at all. Am I right? My goodness.
Well, the thing is, this is such a normal thing for us to just go on walks. You
I know.
But then whenever.
But now we got the camera, and now it's like I'm forced to talk.
One of my favorite papers ever was a student asked a young woman out at a gym, found her extraordinarily attractive. She was reading, I suppose, like Camus or some sort of philosophical text that he was interested in, took her out on the date and realized he had nothing in common with her and didn't like talking to her at all.
I think he's a tad more traditional than I am, and I think I'm a really traditional Catholic and traditional person, so I was like, oh wow, he is a very, very traditional guy. But we went mini golfing and it was a lot of fun. I was really, really bad, but it was still a lot of fun. We were just chatting while we were golfing, and then we went to a restaurant, and I'm pretty sure we shut the restaurant down because it was really late and we were the last two in there, and someone came and started sweeping the floor next to us, and then we were like, okay, we better leave now.
The number one success that I discover, even in dates that went so bad, the things I've read are just terrible, some of them, is that dating won't kill you, right? Like at the end of a bad date, you don't die. it's not over. Life is not over, and that actually you could do it again and you'd be okay.
I'm not sure if a relationship would work out or anything. I mean, we didn't have a second date, but I have a lot of respect for him for sure, and I think he's an awesome guy.
Great. Happy finals. Happy COVID testing time. Be well, everyone. And one day, we can meet in person, all of us. We can just hang out somewhere. I don't know, like on a field. In Notre Dame Stadium, maybe, okay.
Bittersweet memories. That's all I am taking with me.
Hey, good morning. Maybe next time we'll get a puzzle that's a little more challenging. I don't know, Abe. 6-letter word, I can't get it. Maybe you can. Abe, couldn't even get the puzzle. Half done.
Hey, what are you doing here?
Good morning, Abe.
You shouldn't have told him.
Can I get you something to drink? All right, sure. Give me something strong. Got it. Here you go. Thanks. This is water. Yep. I asked for something strong. You're not 21 yet. How do you know? No. So, you and me? Yeah. How you doing that? Doing what? That. You're me, but I'm sitting here, and you're standing there, and I'm you. Just like that. Wow. You any good? Not really. Neither am I. Let's play. Who invited him? Man, I'm exhausted. How about you?
I felt like I had absolutely no control over anything. I was so anxious that it was like emanating to like the rest of my family. I felt like I was causing my dad anxiety. I felt like I was causing my sister anxiety. It was like really difficult for me to see the effect on her because I did kind of feel like it was a burden to her. I feel like it was too much for her. And I know that's one of the common feelings, like when you feel depressed, you feel like you're a burden. I do feel like I'm a burden.
Back in April, my great aunt was in a nursing home and she tested negative on a Saturday and then was dead the following Thursday of COVID. That kind of was pretty early on a wake-up call for me of how serious it could be. I think a lot of people, if they haven't experienced it personally, they still don't understand the trauma that this is causing for a lot of people. I have a lot more anxiety about like every single social interaction, and I've had panic attacks when I walk into like a space, whether it's on campus or off, and I see people not wearing masks. I felt kind of safe and secure at home, just felt like this little bubble where I was safe from COVID. But then the more time went on, the worse my mental health got.
I rely a lot on social contact and like seeing humans. Going home and like doing online school was really hard for me just because I went from spending like 16 plus hours a day with like a bunch of people to not seeing anyone besides my parents. The biggest thing that's like impacting me has probably been like the hugs. Like I don't really know the last time I've given like one of my other friends like a big hug, which has been really difficult for me.
I was in class and like tears were just going down my cheek. I couldn't control it. My mom came up to me and she goes, "Do you think you're depressed?" And I just bawled and I was like, "Yes, I think I'm depressed." For me, my issues arise when I feel like I'm out of control or when I feel vulnerable. COVID is the epitome of that.
Body image stuff. It's just something I've always struggled with, and I'm really inconsistent with how I treat my body. I'll go through periods of working out a lot and trying to eat healthy and focusing on not consuming the calories that I need and end up feeling kind of worse about myself. In quarantine right now, it's been difficult because my food options are what the school drops off. Like I feel really guilty if I eat like a big meal and then like just sit around all day, which is what I've done the past week. It's something I'm still kind of working on. It's something that a lot of the time I feel kind of lost about.
I've struggled with depression and honestly never was very consistent in going to therapy and trying to get it under control. I felt like I was finally starting to make some progress, and then I went home and my home environment is not supportive at all of my mental health.
Like I guess I've never gone to like therapy or anything. One thing that has prevented me from doing it in the past is like being afraid of people kind of knowing about my struggles because I don't want people to view me differently.
I remember having a conversation with someone and telling him that like I thought I was depressed, and he told me, "You can't be depressed because your life is perfect and you have parents that love you and you have a family that loves you and you can't be depressed." And so for me that was a punch in the stomach. I was like here trying to be vulnerable, like opening up to him, and he totally shut me down.
In most of my interactions with people, I come across as being totally fine, doing well in my classes, doing well in my extracurriculars. On the inside, it's a daily struggle to get out of bed in the morning. It's a daily struggle to actually do anything productive. I just want to lay in bed and cry and sleep all day, and I can't do that.
Came out as bisexual, which was really good, like to finally be able to like admit it out loud. So far, only like some friends know. I started dating a guy It's been really good, like for mental health. Did a lot of thinking about like myself and kind of realizing who I want to be as a person and what quarantine kind of has led me to be.
Before the pandemic, I didn't really take my mental health as seriously. But I think that also, like, looking at the positive, it kind of forced me to work on some issues that I had had for a while. It pushed me to, like, start working with a therapist, start, like, seeing a psychiatrist and stuff like that. And so at the end of the day, like, I believe that this was God telling me to wake up. Like, you need to start focusing on yourself before you can focus on anything else.
If you're struggling, please talk to someone about it, but also if you feel comfortable, just talk about it, because the more people that talk about this, the more that everyone will start to see that, one, this is an issue we need to be concerned about because mental health is a very real thing, and two, you're not alone. The more I talk about that, the less alone I feel. Every day is a challenge, and just try to be nice to people. A smile or, you know, a kind word goes a long way.
Hello?
Enough! Look, I have a huge final tomorrow, so whatever you're doing, just stop it! Oh shit. Hey, whatever you are, thank you.
What was their problem?